It was what many call the golden age of Tejano, 1994. Things were hopping. You had lots of different artists on the air, and in walks a young Joseph Valdez, joining two legends in the industry. One, the pioneer we all grew up with, Luis Alonso Muñoz, and the man with the dances from Kingsville, Texas.
That's right.
Mr. Mike Chavez.
That's
and
right.
then Joseph walks in the door to make the trio that
we made the trio. It was Mike Chavez, Luis Muñoz, and Joseph Valdez, and it was such an honor working with these professionals.
Sure.
I learned so much from them, and then eventually it became Luis Muñoz and myself.
Sure.
And
let's go back to the beginning where you started, when you guys all got together and created this trio of actual people in the industry, because
right.
Mr. Luis, as well as you know, as everyone knows, was part of KIII and the voice for the Hispanic community.
Oh yeah, many years.
Mike Chavez, of course, the DJ, representing a younger generation at that point.
Right.
From the 60s, from the 70s.
Slash 80s.
Musician as well,
and
an entrepreneur. He was a dance promoter as well at the Crimson Palace in Kingsville.
He certainly was.
And you, of course, being in radio as well.
Yes,
¿verdad?
that's right.
Con mucha trayectoria en la industria del radio. Tell me how it was that you landed the gig.
Well, I found out that they were, searching for someone, a different taste to Domingo Live, and I came in and I auditioned, and they called me back to another edition, that led to a third edition, and I eventually got in the door. And then I had to, of course, get side by side with Mike Chavez and with Luis Muñoz, which was an experience. A very good experience, because I did learn a lot from them. Aprendí mucho de ellos, especialmente Luis Muñoz. Es un señor muy profesional.
Sí.
Once I got in, it was awesome learning with the guys. It's a program that we spoke English and we spoke Spanish. I think, Rudy, we had to speak both, because if you speak just nothing but Spanish, you'll lose the youngsters. And if you speak nothing but English, you'll lose the older crowd.
Sure.
But it was a very learning experience for me.
When you were brought on board, had you ever known Luis Alonso or Mike Chavez? Had you ever collaborated with them before in any other capacity?
With both, not that much, but I knew who Luis Muñoz was, of course, and I knew who Mike Chavez was. But to work with them side by side, that was a challenge.
What was it like, though, when you on your first show?
It was kind of scary, because I said, I'm the third wheel here. If they're going to get rid of anybody, it's going to be me. But it worked out well, and I shouldn't have to tell you, but you know how when you click with someone, and I click with these guys. Luis Muñoz is a very funny person. He's got a sense of humor, and Mike Chavez also. So we, pretty soon, it was maybe the third show, we were already clicking. So it was a lot of fun.
Excellent. What are some of the highlights? Can you remember anything in particular that you guys did together that may have stuck to your mind?
Well, when we started Domingo Live, we started venturing to the Tejano Music Awards. And that's when Domingo Live started going to visit the Tejano Music Awards. I guess one of my highlights was doing an interview for Domingo Live, and I got the chance to interview Selena. Never did I realize how big that interview was going to be. And that was one of the most important interviews that I have done in my career. Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Yeah. What was she like when you were interviewing her?
Amazing. She had a lot of charisma, very likable person, very wonderful person. And interviews, you just ask her a question and she'd take off, and you just kind of guided her. But excellent person for the interviews, yes.
You were on the show with all three for how many years?
I would say maybe a year and a half. Then Mike Chavez left, and it was Luis Muñoz and myself.
Sure. And how long did that last?
Maybe about another 3 years, and we worked very well. Eventually, we were able, I think they brought in Sally Narvaez. You remember Sally?
Yes.
Oh, great person. And we clicked again. We have to click, and her professionalism, just kind of went over to me, and I learned a lot from her. Yeah.
When was it that Mr. Munoz decided to bow out and leave you?
I don't remember the exact year, but I want to say it was maybe like 97, somewhere around there, 98. Mm-hmm.
And the reason behind it, he said, that he told you guys?
I think he had just, he was still physically able to move around and everything, but I think it was just time for him, and he didn't retire completely, but he did leave, Domingo Live.
Did he ever, I know that he was almost personally tapped to take over for Domingo Peña when Domingo, of course, had his accident and got hurt and was not quite the same after a couple of years.
Right.
Mr. Munoz was tapped. Did he ever talk about his time with Domingo Peña? And
he did share a story of the personality that Domingo Peña had, which was kind of bright. And he would tell me stories about him, and of course, stories that I can't relate to. I could not, I wasn't here. And he would tell me stories, and I'd go, really? You go, wow, that's amazing what this man did, And so it was just an awesome experience, yeah.
Sure. I mean, at that point, obviously you knew the importance and the significance of this show and this hour and a half that you were hosting.
Oh yes. Let me tell you something.
Tell me about it.
Domingo Live, everyone was watching Domingo Live. Then and even now, it is a show of the public. The show belongs to the public, el público, porque el programa le pertenece al público. You notice every Sunday, you guys have people in here talking, and people look to this show for music, for information. I don't think there's an end to this show. It's been with us, and I think it will continue for many, many more years.
Sure. When Mr. Munoz left and Sally came on board, she would become the first female to host Domingo Live. What was that like?
Great. She would shoot from the hip. We would, it's a live show, and I don't have to tell you how live television, you're on in 3, 2, and boom. Well, with Sally, it was very spontaneous. She would get an idea in the last 5 seconds, and we go, Sally, no, we're supposed to, but wait, follow me. We're gonna go over here, and and it would turn out to be the perfect thing to do. She knew what she was doing. Yeah, very professional.
Spontaneity.
Oh yeah, I miss her.
Yeah, absolutely. Her tenure was very brief. Yeah. Only a few years, and then Marcy came in.
Marcy Mosqueda came in.
Tell me about Marcy.
Oh, Marcy was an experience too. Working with her, you never knew where she was coming from, but again, we clicked very well, and it was an adventure with Marcy. Yeah,
sure, no doubt.
And you worked with her, from what I understand.
Yes,
right?
As a matter of fact, when you left, I came in and worked with Marcy. But we're talking about an era. We're talking about the mid '90s. And at a time when Tejano music was booming. You got a chance to experience some of the biggest bands, right down to Selena.
All right.
Tell me about your thoughts.
Well,
your thoughts
when I joined Domingo Live, Tejano Music Awards were really hitting. They were utilizing the Alamo Dome, and I am talking about the entire Alamo Dome, packed. And you had top groups, Tejano groups, and song after song, performance, just jump. Everybody wanted a piece of the Tejano Music Awards. It was always happening.
How vital was the participation of Domingo Live with the Tejano Music Awards back then? How vital was it? How vital was the participation of Domingo Live to the Tejano Music Awards at that time?
I think it was very important because it was the first time in 1994, 1995 that Domingo Live started venturing to San Antonio, and we would visit the Tejano Music Awards, and we had access to the interviews. Now, we couldn't really get on stage, but we had practically everything open to us. And yes, of course, they wanted us there. And I remember back to Selena, we were waiting in the press room for the artist to arrive. A lot of reporters in there, including myself. The doors open, Selena walks in, and I go, oh, now to get her, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, be the first one. And she saw me, and we locked eyes, and I knew. She goes, Joseph, I want you. And so I got the first interview, and that was, I believe, you aired it maybe a couple of weeks ago. So that was awesome. Yeah.
This has been an incredible ride for you in this industry, not only with radio but television, of course, what you do now.
Yeah.
Being able to meet these artists that have made an impact in our community.
Yeah.
The importance of Domingo Live in your life, looking back, what do you see?
I see a lot of importance in Domingo Live. As a musician, I am a musician. I would look at Domingo Live for the music, los músicos. You know, cómo tocaban los músicos. You know, a song. It just taught so much. Even our youngsters now that look at Domingo Live, they may not be listening for the interviews, but they're checking out the músicos, the bajo sexto player, the accordion player. They're all learning. Domingo Live is a learning process. It's a family show, but it teaches so much.
Do you miss it?
Oh, yes, I do. There's times that I really miss it, you know, when I'm watching you and I'm watching Barbie. And then there are times that I'm kind of relieved because I had a lot on my plate. As you know, I work for KIII Productions. That keeps my plate pretty full. And then I was working for Channel 3 doing Domingo Live. And to do a good job at one or the other, I had to, you know, let go of one, you know. But I did Domingo Live for about 7 or 8 years. And I really enjoyed it. I learned so much. And again, as a músico, I learned. As a host of Domingo Live, working with other announcers, colleagues, has taught me so very much in my career. Yes.
I mean, and you say again that this show is the community. It's not so much the host, but the community that it brings together.
Oh yes.
Tell me about that again.
I feel that it belongs to the community. The hosts come and go. I came, I went, and I watched the show. I mean, it's like a tradition. You just get up, and it's a South Texas tradition. You go put your TV on, and you watch. And you don't know what you're getting. But I tell you what, I'm watching.
Yeah. At that time when you got in, did you know what you were getting into?
No, but I was welcoming the experience. I knew it was going to be a roller coaster, and I welcomed it. As a músico, you know, and as a radio announcer, a broadcaster, I said, yes, bring it on, I'm ready. I learned so much.
Perfect.